Stuart,
Yes.
how come nobody made a film of you, about you?
Nobody made a what?
A film, a movie?
Uh, I don't know. Ask them. Go to Hollywood and ask them. I don't know. Supposed to be two people coming here from Poland in a week or two that want to they want to make a movie of me. But I don't know. I haven't heard back from them.
Really?
Uh, I told them the beginning of November would be good. But I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I've been on enough television programs and I used to do them all the time. And stuff like that. I don't know. As I say, go to Hollywood and ask them.
Thank you.
Look, what I do is pretty rare. It's very powerful. And it's not for mobs of people, it's for people that are ready to do it. And I think for me, that's really good. You know, I'm not here to save the world. I'm here to help whoever in this karma comes and really wants to work very deeply on themselves, change, transform, and build in themselves a strong connection with higher energy. Most stuff they make movies about is pretty mediocre stuff. It's not really, trying to get to some really deep inner place in life. But again, I don't know. I remember I tried to get to get them interested in my book Little Sisters to make a movie of that, which I always thought would be like an Academy Award movie if somebody would make it. And I couldn't get anyone in California to listen. It was a shame because that book really could have done a lot, as a movie to help a lot of people. There's, I used to know a lot of, when I had a gallery, I used to have all these movie stars would come in and sit and talk and it was interesting, to listen to them. And does anyone else have a question they would like?
This is kind of a weird question, Heidi.
Yes, I do.
Um, yeah, so what's all this garbage that's coming out?
What is what?
Garbage? Like there's all this garbage. I feel it just like coming out.
What is it? It's really it caters to the mediocrity in human beings. And that's what it caters to. A part of people that is seeking something to titillate them that, I mean, the more mediocre the movie, the more people that get blown up and explosions and all this nonsense that goes on. I mean, the more people you get in movie theaters. So I don't have answers. I answer spiritual questions. I don't know.
So I was actually asking about, I feel like there's all this garbage that's coming out of my system right now.
Well, but that's great, Heidi. That's what you're here for.
Do you have any insight into that or anything?
Yes, I have a lot of insight. Look, the garbage coming out of you is really the stuff that's kept you a prisoner of yourself. And this meditation, it's like drilling for oil. You're drilling deep inside you to release those pockets of resistance, of tension, or the garbage, that have made it impossible for you to tap in your life the most creative parts of yourself. So we're drilling for oil. I mean, we're drilling for treasure in you. In order to get to the treasure, You gotta, it's like in the old fables of the Middle Ages where the knight has to slay a dragon in order to get to the damsel in distress. That's exactly what it's like. It's like a fairy tale. We are the damsels in distress. There's also a part of us that's that knight that needs to slay the dragon that is keeping that damsel from coming out and being free. And this goes on and on and on because in every human being, there are hundreds of damsels in distress. There are hundreds of pots of gold, that you got to slay a dragon to get to. And I think that fairy tale is very real, about people. And what you asked is about you now slaying the dragons to get to that purer, deeper, more profound place in yourself that enables you to connect with God, the Spirit. And to me, that is wonderful. Makes what I do, make sense. When somebody asks a question like you just said, it makes what I do make sense. I've been doing it to myself for 50 years now. It's made sense to me. Even before I met Rudy, it made sense to me. Before I met Rudy, I didn't know how to do it. And he showed me how to do it.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question they would like to? So what we do has kind of a fairy tale quality. All those fables they wrote. I mean, when you get to the underlying things they were talking about, there's something always very profound. Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, I have a question. Derek.
Okay, good.
I often have pretty much the same question. Am I doing this right? I often have an inner critic, 'cause it's, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. And working with that, um, at this point, I'm not sure I'm even doing it at all. Could you talk about that? Who's
Doing
doing
what?
it?
They're doing the exercise properly?
Right.
Well, I can go over the exercise with you. I mean, and show it to you. It's very simple. The first step is keeping your attention below the navel. That's one of the keys to truly opening in yourself. Instead, the next step is to open the heart. And as I always tell you, gratitude is the quickest way to open the human heart. Without gratitude, the heart's never going to really open. So feel gratitude. You have things in your life you're grateful for. I bet you have many things that you're grateful for in your life. That will open the heart. Then you take a breath through the nostrils to the center of your chest. You hold the breath for about 10 seconds. Swallow a little saliva to relax the throat chakra. And then after about 10 seconds, just exhale a little bit of the air. Wait a few seconds, continue to exhale until you come. And then you immediately take another breath and you bring all the air down to the chakra below the navel. Your mind is here, your breath is here. You deeply ask for help to open, to surrender, to grow spiritually. And that part of the exercise will build chi, the power inside yourself, to be able to develop this exercise into something that enables you to live consciously in the world and to be connected to spirit at exactly the same time. Again, you hold the breath for about 10 seconds below the navel, and then you exhale a little bit of the air. You stop, you wait a few seconds, you continue to exhale until you come. Then you just breathe naturally. But you got to try and keep your attention below the navel. Once the mind leaves that chakra, the whole system of a human being just goes off balance. And that's why people during the day, they get so much chaos in themselves. They lose that centeredness inside, that balance inside themselves. The hara, the chi, the power to stay rooted and grounded no matter what is going on in life. Now, in the exercise, if you feel energy moving through the sexual area, you bring a piece of your attention to the base of the spine. You try to draw the energy up the spine to the top of your head. There it will germinate, and the crown chakra opens and allows the soul of a human being to connect with the soul of the universe. It's the pathway to God, and it all exists inside each and every one of us. Now, you only do that meditation when you need to do it. You don't do it for the period of an entire class. But if you start thinking, daydreaming, going off, and you recenter yourself and you do the exercise. The exercise purpose is to build a system inside you that is strong enough that at some point you will just stay centered. Organically, it'll happen. And, of course, the class is done with the eyes open, not with the eyes shut. And the reason for that is simple. Look, you look into somebody's eyes, you can see the deepest level of their inner being. And the eyes in the meditation, they're like two vacuum cleaners. They will suck in the Shakti. And that Shakti goes into the chakra system and helps to, acts as a catalyst to help develop the chakra system inside. Do you have any questions about that?
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question they would like to?
I have a question.
Yes,
I talk about other meditations, not about this one, because here I can't complain about anything. But when I keep my eyes open, I see too much of, I'm distracted by some imperfections around me. So I prefer to close my eyes, so I kind of just centering myself. My
Well,
question is, if I'm doing it right, I need to enjoy
look,
imperfection.
Anna, the answer to this is very simple. You're distracted because you haven't built the chakra below the navel strong enough to be able to really maintain that inner balance. Look, you live every day with your eyes open. You look out at the world, everything distracts us. Everything drags us out of ourselves. So what we're trying to learn in this class is how to get centered inside and still be connected to the world without allowing all of that stuff, to throw our inner life out of balance.
You saying sit quiet in here, but
Huh?
it's you sit quiet and concentrate because it's disturbing the energy of the class. So if somebody gonna play, like I don't know, the game on the phone, how you gonna react in this in these situations I mean chanting or meditation class?
I don't
I'm not
understand.
talking about somebody moving their head. I mean, it's just something a little bit more than that.
Look, I don't know what you're asking. What are you asking?
I had very interesting experience tonight. I had beautiful meditation during the chanting, But I was the only one who was meditating. Everybody else having their own lives, except people who chanting. My question is, so should I go inside of myself and just turn off the outer world, or I need to kind of try to balance and
Look,
digest everything what is around me?
Anna, I can't answer that. You got to answer that. I do what I do. I've been doing it for a very long time. And I know if somebody really makes an effort to learn what I'm trying to teach you, it works. You understand? There are many different paths. And I'm not saying any of those other paths are wrong. This is a particular way of working on yourself that gives you the strength to be able to be completely centered inside and live in the world. That's why the eyes are open. We live with our eyes open. And because we live with our eyes open, have no training inside, everything eats our energy out of us. Everything. So the whole purpose of the meditation is to stay centered, grounded, build that root system in yourself. At the same time, we're living in the world. And all of the madness that goes on in the world does not suck our energy out of us. We are connected to spirit. And that's where we get our energy. And we can go about and live in the world and do it consciously. You understand? We can make decisions consciously in our everyday life. We can see what's real and what's an illusion because we have the inner strength to do it. So the exercise was devised by my teacher as a way of getting people grounded, and also you are connected to life at exactly the same time. And if you learn how to do that, you can distinguish between what's real in your life, what's an illusion, and you can use anything that happens to you in your life as a way of getting closer, to a higher force of energy in the universe. Everything becomes your teacher, but you've got to be grounded, and we have karma. We live in the world. You close your eyes, you cut it off. You cut off life.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is the key to all of this, learning how to get free of karma by learning how to get strong enough inside ourselves to be connected to spirit. And when those two things work together, your life becomes a completely different way of living. None of the stuff that goes on in life, drags you out of yourself. It doesn't matter what the politicians do and the economists say, and this one says, and money, and you are centered and grounded inside. And everything becomes a way to teach you how to get more centered and more grounded inside. And you don't allow anything to drag you out of yourself. But you have to build that kind of system. And one of the reasons the eyes are open, two reasons. One, you're connected to life. Two, the Shakti in the class flows into you through the eyes. I work with each person here through the eyes. And I'm not hypnotizing people. I'm just transmitting the Shakti, the energy, so that you can build a chakra system inside that's strong enough to do what I'm talking about. You close your eyes in this, you cut off life. And you usually fall asleep. I remember I used to meditate with my eyes closed. I would fall asleep half the time. And it's not about that. It's to wake up. It's to get stronger and more balanced and grounded and not allow the external objective world to suck out your inner life. I mean, before I met my teacher, I meditated with my eyes closed. I used to chant mantras until I was sick of mantras. I did all of that stuff. None of it quieted my mind. What quieted my mind was getting grounded, getting centered in the chakra below the navel, and being able to, deal with my karma, my life, my activity every day by being grounded, centered, focused.
Thank you. It's clear the anger because I couldn't refuse the invitation, but I was very angry about my participation. Now I'm not angry. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Don't be angry. Look, you're a rough gal, you got a lot of work to do on yourself. I'm willing to go through it with you. So stop being angry and be more grateful, okay? It'll take you much further than being angry. And I frankly, look, Anna, just to finish, you have a lot of creative energy in you, almost too much. And you've got to build the grounding inside yourself, the foundation inside, and to be able to embrace the world and let it be a teacher. Let life become the teacher. And it's never become the teacher if you're not really grounded inside. It's too powerful. Much too powerful. You get grounded, then you can embrace it, and everything becomes sacred instead of everything being a pain in the ass. Does anyone else have a question you would like to ask? It's not only for Anna, it's for all of us. Do you all understand what I'm talking about? I mean, understand there are three elements, okay? The objective world, life, the activity that we do as we go through life, understand? And we all know that life itself is an extremely powerful energy. And it disrupts the calm and the peace in a human being very quickly. And listen, you got to be really strong in order to live peacefully with this world. The second element is spirit. And as powerful as life is, spirit is 1,000 times more powerful. And unless we build a chakra system inside that's strong enough, that energy of it comes out and just burn us to a crisp. I mean, I know that because when I was younger, I used to do some drugs and, hallucinogenic drugs, and I would get these unbelievable experiences, spiritual experiences would happen to me. And then it would take me 3 days to recover from it. It was too powerful. I said, Stuart, you got to find somebody who can teach you how to build a system inside that can allow you to absorb what's infinite in the infinite energy in the or God. So you have life, which is very powerful, spirit, which is 1,000 times more powerful, and then you have Kundalini, which is a really powerful force also. And all of those energies work in a human being because somebody is grounded. They are grounded. They have built the chi, the power inside themselves to stay rooted and grounded. And then when the heart is open, understand we interact with life, with compassion, with love, caring. There's a high level of our humanity. All of this works together. My teacher Rudy used to say it's like playing a one-man band, You got to be able to play all the instruments. They all work together. The throat chakra, how we communicate. If your heart is closed and you're angry, and so you communicate with anger, which is bound to create a lot of trouble in one's life. When the heart is open, you're grounded inside, and mind is quiet, you can communicate with consciousness, with compassion, with love, and also you can communicate with other people where they recognize that their bullshit is not going to, do anything to you. And the greatest, most positive word in the English language is no. To be able to say no to somebody without being upset at them. Lovingly say no to somebody. I won't be used that way. So it all works together. Understand, sexual energy is the same thing. It's the energy of rebirth. It's the energy of birth. We're all a product of sexual energy. Internally, it's the energy of rebirth. Where the whole human thing begins to get transformed into the spirit. Hey, this should be a chapter in my next book. God bless you all for bringing this out of me. This has really been wonderful. Does anyone else have a question they would like? Okay, if there are no more questions, thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful day today. And there will be meditation on Tuesday, the 1 o'clock class. Also, there'll be a class tonight. Pat Fay will be teaching it, and a class tomorrow night. So thank you, and bless you all, and
Thank you.
have a wonderful day. God,
Thanks, Stuart.
you're welcome.